the game and shoot what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talker, no wriggling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That flash making a portrait. Gun kick back, now grannies from porches. David on the sea, you know that it's scorching. What's the man with king? No response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Said what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
Peace and blessings and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. And on this crazy Tuesday, you saw me over there with P Lump and the team getting down and dirty. Like, people don't understand. Like, I go where I go and I do what I do wherever I go. I make sure I'm who? Me, the King. Now, I'm a big personality. But when you get big personalities on your show, they talk. And that's what happens. You don't get Charleston White on your show and don't allow him to talk. He talks. You don't get big personalities on your show. They talk. That's what happens. So if anybody was over there and it was like, King is just talking. King is there to make sure that the message is heard. And if you understand what the message is hashtag no PlayStation 6. You know what it is. I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. And on this show, more than any show, I'm going to prove to you exactly why I'm 98% right all the time. If individuals can't get with the program, well, the program will get to you. Now, I want to give a shout out to Eric Von Eric and Be Nice. I salute you. Manny GL, Lamont Davis, Reclaimer Rob, and Wokey 808. If you're here, share it out. Let everybody know what you're talking about. George Parcells, I salute you, soldier. Manny, let's get it. We're about to rock this show today. Now, a lot of dudes is talking about our demise, and I got to say, please, sir, please, take the time out, sit back, relax, and allow us to do what we do. Because we do it like we do it for TV, because it looks so damn easy. And I love everything about Xbox. You know what it is. Y'all know the vibes. It's Xbox Frontline News, and you've come here to get the news about Xbox because you hear all these people talking about Xbox is closing studios. This game, that game, it may not survive. Oh, why do you care? Why do you care if you don't have an Xbox? Because you want Xbox games. That tells me that, one, you choose not to partake, but you want to partake. You choose to be a part of. You choose not to be a part of, but want to be a part of. You want what we have, but don't want to have what we have. Well, you see, this is the reason why E-Day won't be there for your day. And it's cool. We cool with it. Like y'all tout, oh, we got Wolverine. Nobody crying. Not a soul is crying. It's not an exclusive club. If anybody wanted to go get a PlayStation, they get one. If anybody wanted to get an Xbox, they get one. Nintendo, Steam, and so on and so on. You're not in an exclusive club. So the mental gymnastics individuals start to exude based upon them thinking they're in some club that is so exclusive. You purchase hardware. You're supporting your purchase. I've come to the decision that I understand you. I understand what these slugs do and what these slugs are about, and I get it. It's the fear of your thing going away. That's the reason why hashtag no PlayStation 6. I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. We're going to run it up on these bums. Bothers the hell out of you. Because you're like, damn, man, this dude is 98% right. He's been predicting this stuff for so long. He's the only person that's doing it, and he doesn't care that he is. He doesn't feel any shame. When he's wrong, he owns up to it. What type of man is this? Who is this guy? I'm going to tell you exactly who this guy is. because we're going to get into this stuff early today. We're going to get into it because I told you exactly what I meant, when I meant it, and why I meant it. But you guys probably didn't get the memo, didn't listen, or did not want to know. But I'm here to shine the light upon you. As Ra shines the light in the sky, I shine the light in your eye. Because you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. Now, you have a lot of people that go to different websites, and based upon their websites that they go to these websites based upon their agenda. I'm a follow the money man. Money will always dictate and indicate to me where you're going, what you're doing, and why you're doing it. Because in the corporate world, unlike the streets, unlike what you're used to, the corporate world is ruthless and it's ruled by cash. And then when it's ruled by cash, it forces you to look at everything through dollar signs and values. And absolutely knowing where Sony is going, where Xbox is going, is based upon the dollar signs that is backing them. Now, I know y'all can get a chance to see the NASDAQ, you get to see the Dow, you get to see the S&P, and you get to see the Russell. Now, I know that a lot of this stuff doesn't really mean anything to you. But when you go to Yahoo Finance, because you're tracking dollars, right? I've told you that I don't believe that Sony is in the business of selling you consoles that are over $1,000 because it is cost prohibitive when it comes to the consumer. The consumer is having a hard time with adapting to the PlayStation 5 Pro. See, the consumer would say that there's a ton of things that they don't like about the PlayStation 5 Pro. They would look at the PlayStation 5 Pro and say, I don't see the worth, King. Whereas a person like myself would say, I absolutely see the worth. I'm a tech head. It's a better tech than the tech that I got, and I'm going to switch that tech and get this tech. Why? Because that's what I do. Again, the average consumer doesn't view it my way. They look at me and say, I don't see it. I'm not getting it. It makes no sense. So they don't make a sale. But they look for value. The average consumer looks for the lowest common denominator when it comes to price. Black Friday sales are indications of this such. Now, Yahoo Finance says that Sony says it won't sell hardware at a significant loss amid PlayStation 6 price concerns. Well, what does that mean at a significant loss? That means that they're not going to subsidize at a greater extent. Because think about it. If they subsidize the PlayStation 5 and they took a $200 loss on 93 million consoles shipped, well, that's a significant loss. And you have to make that up in software. So your average cost has to be at least 6 to 7 titles that has to sell with that particular hardware. Let's get it. Oh, yeah.
At George Purcell 5,331 donated £1.99 through Super Chat. PS5 Pro about to be $1,049. Be ready. Hashtag no PS6.
I agree with you. I agree because the Steam Deck made it so. The Steam Machine, the Steam Deck too, the Steam Machine itself actually showed you that they can go to wild prices while selling you underpowered hardware. And you guys fell for it. You fell for the sob story. Well, they tell us how much stuff is going to cost, and then we sell it damn near cost. You're a liar. Anyway, I honestly believe that this to be true. Sony is not in the business of selling you consoles that break that $1,000 threshold. But they will have no choice. Now, remember my strategy. And being 98% right all the time, give me that 2% wrong, like GTA marketing to Xbox. That was a hope. That wasn't a prediction. That wasn't a follow the money. That was a hope. Understand the difference between hopes and what I'm telling you. I hope that happened. It would have been so dope. But as you can see, Microsoft is up and Sony is down in today's stock market. If you happen to play the stock market, because a lot of you guys talk numbers, so I automatically assume that you're out here making it happen. And I salute you if you are. I had one of my good homies reach out to me and say, yo, King, should I get some Take-Two stock? And I said, you would be an idiot not to. Because right now, okay, cool. Take-Two is about to go bananas. Sony has insisted it has no plans to sell future PlayStation hardware at a significant loss, as mounting concerns over rising memory prices fuel PlayStation 6 price concerns. Recently, there has been an immense speculation that the PlayStation 6 could become the most expensive console the company has ever released. It'll never happen. I'm betting on this. But let's continue. The comments come as the video game industry continues to grapple with the soaring component costs driven by the demand for high bandwidth memory used in artificial intelligence systems, a situation many analysts has dubbed the RAM-pocalypse. I like when they name stuff that they think is catastrophic to fit a narrative. The RAM-pocalypse. Were you there for the RAM-pocalypse? Do you remember before our AI overlords took over? Do you remember? So we used to have this thing when I was growing up called yuppies. They were hippies. They were not hippies. They were trendy socialites that invaded the Lower East Side of Manhattan, and yuppies were spending money, doing designer drugs, and partying and spending. That's around the .com era. And the reason why the .com era, that bubble popped, was that was something that was absolutely unsustainable based upon it was selling you nothing. People was buying domains and .coms, and everybody thought that was the new frontier. It actually did nothing outside of allow you to navigate the web. And the web was so new, people didn't understand how that thing went. So they thought by purchasing domains, and some dudes did get paid off of purchasing domains that other people wanted in order to make money. Let's go.
Applefolk donated $2 through Super Chat. Cop a few shares bro, can't wait for the gains, oh.
Blessings. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I didn't want to put his business out there, so I left it ambiguous based on the facts that, again, I will talk around some stuff if it's prudent for other people to understand that there are people in this space that are going to make moves based upon what they need to do later on in this life. Understand, everything isn't video games, but everything revolves around monetary gains. And if what you're pouring into your hobby isn't given back, that's scary. Oh, let's get it. Soursop.
At Smith donated $4.99 through Super Chat. If ponies didn't take the leap to current gen at the price of $450, what makes people think these dudes going to take a leap at $1,000 plus?
They won't. They're betting on Grand Theft Auto 6. What I'm betting on is this current gen, those people that actually do have these consoles are the ones that's going to partake. I think there's going to be a big, steep shock for Rockstar when it comes to this game. Current gen hardware has already been affected. Earlier this year, Sony increased PlayStation 5 prices in several regions, citing that continued pressures in the global economic landscape, while Microsoft recently announced another round of Xbox price raises after warning that the console memory and shortage cost has risen dramatically. Now, the fact of the matter is that they're not talking about PlayStation has raised the price as well, but I digress. Microsoft has done it, I think, 3 times. I think PlayStation has done it 3 times. Speaking during the Sony Interactive Entertainment Business Q&A, President Hideki Nishino said that PlayStation would continue to balance affordability with financial sustainability. Nishino said, as a principle, we do not intend to sell hardware at a significant loss. At the same time, we're carefully monitoring the market, continue to evaluate our approach. We believe it is important for us to make every effort to ensure the customers fully understand the value we provide in relation to pricing. Nishino acknowledged Sony has already passed some of its increased manufacturing costs on to consumers through recent PlayStation 5 price raises and suggested that further adjustments remain possible if component prices continue to climb. So this part here allows you to know that they will continue to raise prices, right? And I want you to understand that part. But at this time, we are carefully monitoring the market, continue to evaluate our approach. We believe that it's important for us to make every effort to ensure customers fully understand the value we provide in relation to pricing. They want you to know that you're getting this at a bargain, that they could be running it up on you. Oh, they will. But I told you this based upon I'm explaining to you why I say hashtag no PlayStation 6. And remember I told you the whole protocol on how it needed to go? Now, I always knew about the AI stuff, and I've been tracking this, and I'm doing this weird documentary that's taken on a life of its own. It's very weird in which I have to do this documentary because I had some stuff happening to a lot of stuff that I wrote that was magically vanishing. So I had to take that computer offline, and it has no Wi-Fi connection, it has no online connection, and it's really a PC that I work on in silence, and I'm building this documentary, and I had to do some stuff. So it's really crazy. But I understood in the background what could possibly happen. That was always a possibility. But I needed the PlayStation 5 Pro in order to come out to be the price point that it is, in order to set the market for what needed to happen. Because I always felt, and I told you the price that their console would be, I always felt that PlayStation could not release a PlayStation 6 that was cheaper than the PlayStation 5 Pro. It stands to reason that they will continue to sell the PlayStation 5 Pro the same way they continue to sell the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Pro long into the generation of the PlayStation 5. They will not cut anything based upon metrics. But look at the financial differences between the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4. And I'll talk about the Pro. The PlayStation 5 came at a significantly higher cost. So now, using that logic and that's common sense, the PlayStation 6 has to come in at $900, right? So now, looking at that, PlayStation is not going to take any losses, and RAM and storage continue to climb. So we're looking at $1,000+ console. We're looking at something that is averaging $1,200. When I told you that Xbox is going to come in at $1,499, we're looking at a $1,200 box. But looking at this $1,200 box, I said that there's a way that they can mitigate that damage. By looking over at Nintendo, and Nintendo's console itself sells at a cheaper price point while gaining most of the market share, which Nintendo is the true console leader in this whole generation and the previous generation, by selling hardware that is significantly less powerful than the two power leaders when it comes to the Xbox Series consoles and the PlayStation itself, in that order. CPU dictates what is possible, not GPU. Understand that. That's why you had to come out with the Pro. I felt that a handheld would come out. I told you that PlayStation was making a handheld before anybody else told you that PlayStation was making a handheld. I told you that the handheld will come out and it would supplant the PlayStation 6 based upon the specs that's inside the box. that would allow them to put out a device that is $600 to $700, coming in cheaper than the Steam Deck, cheaper than the ROG Ally, Xbox ROG Ally, and cheaper than the PlayStation 5 Pro. With the PlayStation 5 Pro being the de facto console, the base, the hardware for the house. With this handheld taking over, selling at least 10 million units the moment that it hits the floor. That will effectively kill any idea of a PlayStation 6. Understanding that this thing will be dockable like a Nintendo Switch, it will be profitable, it will be scalable, it will be portable. This is what Nishino was thinking about, talking about, and alluding to. But this is what Xbox Frontline News has told you. When I told you hashtag no PlayStation 6, I meant it. I told you that I will keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. We're going to run it up on these bumps. Now, Sony, and this is brought to you by WCCF Tech and Francisco de Mayo. Sony's PlayStation 6 handheld gains credibility as AMD Zen 6 leaks line up with its rumored specs. Now, this is 2027, folks, because don't think Sony would allow Xbox to release Project Helix without them having a rebuttal to match them for the holiday season. We have known for quite some time that Sony may be preparing to launch a next-generation PlayStation 6 handheld alongside flagship home console as possibly to deliver a cheaper entry point to the next generation of consoles. They're not launching it alongside of it. They're launching it instead of it. As the home system has yet to be formally announced by Sony, we do not know whether the portable system is indeed in active development or whether the leaked specifications are real. They are. But again, take this with a grain of salt. I'm just 98% right all the time. However, with a new hardware leak related to AMD Zen 6 architecture, we have received the very first indication that previously leaks could indeed be correct. As reported by Guru 3D, recent Linux kernel patch suggests that AMD Zen 6 architecture will feature a third CPU core type, a low power core designed to enhance efficiency in the background and idle workloads. This marks the first time that low power cores are mentioned in an official capacity rather than its unverified leaks. As such, this is significant for the PlayStation 6 handheld, as it validates the lead specifications and the claim that it will easily outperform handheld competitors like the Xbox ROG Ally X, and even those PlayStation 5 running games optimized for the handheld form factor. Understand that newer technology should outperform older technology. Indicating that allows me to understand where the biasness lies, but I'm cool with it based upon you are writing exactly what I told you. I told you what it was. Pause. I told you what was happening, what was going on, and I understood that you understand what is necessary. Now, here's the specifications, right? Here we go. Y'all can see that on the screen. As the current generation highlighted, now Xbox Series S with the lower specs RAM especially can be limiting factor for developers. Many are wondering whether the potential PlayStation 6 handheld will also be a limiting factor for next-gen console gaming. No. Let me explain why it won't. The RDNA 6 is definitely exactly what is necessary in order to get that frame gen, the up-res, all that other stuff, and the form factor in which it's being produced. You will use lower res textures. You will use the CPU to balance off for the GPU. It's going to work. It's going to work in the same manner that the Switch 2 works. It's perfect for their plan. Their plan is to make sure that in the hardware business, they have hardware to deliver to you. They have a storefront in which they need to funnel. They need to make sure that they stay capable, agile, and efficient. This is the reason why PlayStation 6 won't make it out the door, but that handheld will. Now, that may be bad news for some, but half of y'all don't have a Pro. So I don't care how bad you feel about it. I'm just here to tell you the truth. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. But Don't come to me crying when it happens, like I said. Now, in line with being cheap, I was so happy that TCL purchased Sony Bravia televisions. And we're starting to see some of the benefits of that acquisition. Now, before I get on to the all bad news of Xbox, I will continue to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. Sony drops the 65-inch Bravia 3 smart TV with the PlayStation 5 exclusive features to an all-time low, still at a Prime Day pricing. And now this is brought to you by Gizmodo and Jason Coles. While we did see a lot of amazing things happen and what are on sale this week at Prime Day Deals event, it doesn't mean that there are no such discounts available this week. In fact, even though it was only just the beginning, we already found some amazing discounts for you to look forward to. One of the best we found is a powerful TV from Sony. So you've been hoping to upgrade your TCL. Well, listen. Sony has a television for you. You've been waiting for the right deal, and this could be it. These televisions normally go, this 65-inch Bravia 3 4K smart TV usually costs you $800. Well, right now you can get it on sale for 25% discount for $598. You understand? It is cheaper than the console that you will be pairing it with. But this was brought to you by TCL, the true owners of Sony televisions, and I understand. I like this because when two bums get together, they make bum babies. And this is the bum baby being born by these two bums. I absolutely love it. Let's get to the next topic. Now, closing out this, y'all guys know that I'm a fighting fanatic. And I realize one thing, that soon, very soon, my PlayStation 5 Pro is going to be sitting right next to my Series X right here. Because on Fight Night Fridays, I need to play this. Just recently, and I don't know if you guys know, Blade, Loki, Deadpool was announced for the Marvel token Fighting Souls. And this is brought to you by the PlayStation blog. Now, the three unpredictable anti-heroes joined Ghost Rider and the Samurai Outriders. They thought it was going to be the Midnight Suns. It's absolutely not, but this is absolutely what I wanted. Now, I want y'all to see this because I was blown away. Pause.
Allow me to introduce your glorious champions, the Fighting Avengers.
That team looks dope.
The Unbreakable X-Men.
Woo!
The Amazing Guardians.
That's kind of cool.
Knights of Doom.
That's my team right there.
And
Stay out of my face, lady! You mess with the Ghost Rider, you'll end up as a ghost. All skill, no luck. Hey, Vamp, got some help here.
I'll make this quick. Show me
Blade!
which monster you've got. Don't blink. Yeah, take this.
Oh,
Gotcha.
man, with the Masamara blade?
Nothing stops the Muramasa blade.
Woo!
Close your eyes. It's over.
That's
Say
crazy.
I'm a legend.
But I am also
This is throwback to the movie
so easily
where Loki
I've
shape-shifted
saved
into
Asgard
Captain
more
America.
times than I have threatened it. Honestly.
Look,
No,
you see
Beauty God.
the backgrounds are there in
my
Asgard
prattling tongue, beast.
with the Destroyer back
You
there.
will not survive my Ragnarok.
Whoa! Rage quitting is the ultimate fighting game sin. Let me check out some strats.
Deadpool!
Time resumes. It's me, the FGC.
Two characters with blades and
This
guns.
pose.
Absolutely crazy.
I love it when you threaten me. Roasted. Hey, chat. Somebody clip that. So elegant. Random bullshit go. Deadpool's assemble.
I love this.
Deadpool core.
They got movie references, game references,
Wait. There's something else.
comic book references.
I remember.
Enter the
We thought it was going to be the Midnight Suns. Yo, that's crazy.
Oh, we're cooking now.
TEAM, get 'em!
Time to step out of the shadows.
One does not cross a frost strike every...
Oh, let's get it.
At Meagle Smith donated $1.99 through Super Chat. This game about to go wild, but I'm buying on Steam.
Facts. I could buy it on Steam too, but I'm choosing to buy it on PlayStation. I'm going to get the PlayStation Fighting Stick. I got that Pro for a reason. I'm going to use the Pro. I don't have a Steam machine. I'm not buying a Steam machine for a console that I already have, and I'm not playing it on my Steam Deck, and I'm not playing it on my PC. My PC is for work. I do have options though. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna think about it because that fighting stick, I am able to hook it up to the PC. Because remember, PlayStation didn't get out of the PC business. It's launching day and date on PC.
One, get ready! You're gonna feel this.
Rest in peace.
All-out attack! The power of juggernaut! Hell is coming for you.
I ain't gonna hold you.
Nah, this isn't it.
Check it. Check it. Ha! Open beta
You need
PC
more practice.
and PlayStation 5.
PlayStation.
So again, when people give you language like they're going to be getting out of the PC business and they're going to walk away from the PC, they just made a PC table, they made a monitor, they made speakers, they made the controller, they made the fighting stick compatible back and forth, they made headsets available, and they made a chair. At the end of the day, they're making an ecosystem based upon what they want to get to the Steam owner. I'm still waiting around September so I can get the news about their storefront and what they're working on. Remember, follow the money. But again, I'm waiting for Token Fighting Spirits. So this was just something that I just definitely wanted to talk about because I didn't get a chance to talk about it. Blade, Loki, Deadpool are new characters. I got a chance to see Maximilian do a live talk about it. Again, I want to bring this to my guys. We do this on Fight Night Friday. Oh, won't be no Fight Night Friday this week. My birthday is on Thursday. We will have a birthday stream, but Friday I'll probably be at Myrtle Beach. Well, not probably. I'll be at Myrtle Beach, leaving after the stream, getting out there, you know, do the cake thing and pew over to Myrtle Beach. But again, we got to get into the issues, right? We got to get into the issues of Xbox closing down studios. People will complain and say, King, you're ducking the fade. You're talking about PlayStation, and this is about Xbox, and Xbox is closing down studios. It's over for Xbox. It's done. King, you know what it is. And hashtag no helix. It's over. It's dead. It's dead. It's dead as doornails. Okay. Did we get past your irrational thoughts? They brought Asha in for a reason. And yeah, they brought her in to sunset Xbox. Yeah, okay, no. They brought her in to clean it up. Phil went on a purchasing spree, and the industry had got volatile after such times. And ABK was supposed to be done in a timely fashion. It wasn't. It dragged on. There was many concessions that was made. I see a lot of people talk about how Xbox wasn't able to utilize their own IP when it comes to Call of Duty in a manner befitting an ownership. It's like you buying a house, but the conditions with the lender, because they lend you the money, is that you got to have a room open for people to come through and stay, no matter who it is and no matter what time, but you got to have a room open. And I don't know how many of us would agree to it, but if it's a financial windfall, if you got the best house in the best area, you probably think to yourself, okay, let's just get the deal done. I'm gonna be doing different things with it anyway. We'll deal with it when we get it. And that has been an albatross around the neck of Xbox. Phil made some promises about Call of Duty being inside Game Pass. He lived up to those promises, but Asha never made those promises. So Call of Duty is out of Game Pass to make it more profitable. to make it befitting the stature of which Call of Duty is. You'll get it next year if you actually want to go buy it. Yada, yada, yada. I taught you how to use your Microsoft points in order to get the stuff that you want. So, understand that part. But there's a lot of rumors going on. The financials came out today. Now, you're going to see everybody starting to post financials when it comes to Xbox, Microsoft itself, talking about what's the moves. Next week, by the 6th, you will start hearing what's truly transpiring over at Microsoft and Xbox. Now, I can tell you a couple of things that's transpiring, but we're going to get into this part, and I'm going to tell you some stuff that Microsoft is doing on their end, right? And it has a lot to do with hardware. So this is brought to you by Tweaktown, and who is Derek Strickland. Xbox may close 5 studios in July layoffs, including Arcane, Compulsion, Ninja Theory, and more. Xbox layoffs are said to begin July 6th. As many as 5 studios could be shut down, with hundreds of layoffs and multiple project cancellations. Microsoft plans major layoffs starting July 6th, potentially closing or selling 5 studios: Compulsion Games, Undead Labs, Double Fine, Ninja Theory, Arcane, due to poor performance and low profit margins. Xbox aims to focus resources on key franchises like Fallout, Halo, Call of Duty, Elder Scrolls to improve competitiveness. If you told somebody that they needed to turn something around in a short period of time, and I give Asha, the Empress, 4 years. I believe that she has 4 years in order to turn stuff around. You're going to look quickly at what is not performing, what is bleeding money, what hasn't given you the return off investment. Now, unfortunately, for a lot of these companies, a lot of that stuff could have been mitigated. I looked at so much turnover and so much stuff going over at Undead Labs. Now, not saying that I am championing Undead Labs going anywhere. If you see, I got a Titanfall 2 shirt on, right? I'm not championing Compulsion Games, Double Fine, Ninja Theory, or Arcane. None of those. What I'm saying is, all the titles, or have they delivered titles that actually made a super return off for investment? And if the answer that you're coming up with and you're struggling with is no, well then it stands to reason that a company that is at reset will have to shed those companies or those studios that aren't performing. Spin them off, sell them off, allow them to bring those titles back as independents. Because what I always say, when you got to feed yourself, you work hard as hell. I've been an independent contractor. I've been a business owner majority of my life. I worked at a couple of places. I never liked the sting of getting fired. And I don't like firing anyone because I remember what the sting of being terminated looks like. I remember the uncertainty. I remember understanding, damn, I did this to myself. If only I was able to come up with a product or do something, facilitate a service that will ensure my viability in the marketplace. I decided myself to figure it out. Making studios independent isn't a death sentence. It's a new way of growing. Now, Microsoft may close up to 5 studios, 5 Xbox studios as part of next month's brutal layoffs, sources tell The Verge of Tom Warren. Following years of underperformance and disastrous annual 3% profit margin, Microsoft is making extreme cuts to try to save its business. Gamers and fans didn't know how bad things were at Xbox, but the new guard is exposing hard truths. Xbox has to change or die. High levels in cost cutting are expected. Reports say that Xbox may shut down, spin off, or sell 5 game studios groups in mass layoffs starting July 6th. Compulsion Games, Undead Labs. Oh, Danny just subbed. I salute you, Danny. Let's get it. It gives me a chance to drink some of my sour salt. The power. Sources tell The Verge that Tom Warren that these 5 developers are being targeted in Microsoft aggressive cost cutting. There's been rumbling that cuts will be a bloodbath for Xbox. Why, when Xbox makes cuts, it's a bloodbath? Why, when Xbox is making cuts, it has to be a bloodbath? When Sony destroyed so many studios, 8 studios in 4 years, cut down how many games? 12 live service games. And 2 live service games that made it out is going to get the axe. They shut down Destiny. Why isn't that a bloodbath? They let go tons of staff. Why isn't that a bloodbath? Why the language surrounding Xbox has to be at the most brutal? Well, I'm going to show you something that I know a lot of people will not be talking about. And that's based upon this right here. That's based upon this. Now, I know you're going to say, King, we didn't know this. Microsoft themselves is cutting hardware. They looked over at Xbox and said, you're going to discontinue the 2 terabyte hard drive Xbox Series X. That got to go. That's not in our budget. We don't need to keep making that. So if any of you got that system, God bless. Good for you. That is one that's going to go down in the ages. And this is brought to you by Windows Central and Zach Bottom. Microsoft discontinues Surface Go and Surface Go laptops. The whole laptop line. You see, when they want to get out of console, when they want to get out of hardware, they have no problem with doing it. Xbox announced a new hardware coming out is the Xbox Series X 25 edition. That's coming out. And they announced Project Helix. Where you got people, bad actors, that run their show, and you can run your show any way you like, that are champion Xbox just being a software developer because they just want the best for Xbox. They're liars. Because if you wanted the best for Xbox, you wanted Xbox to compete with PlayStation in order to make sure that these prices don't get out of control. You see, Steam got a big head. Steam thought that they were able to put out anything at any rate, at any size. Pause. And look what that led to. Now, I hope a lot of you do have common sense. I hope a lot of you do allow them to fall flat on their face. Because the same way that you can tell me that the PlayStation 5 Pro is not worth it for $800 or $900, there's absolutely zero way that you can tell me that that Steam machine, that is a less powerful device, is worth it. But I digress. Without a controller. It looks like Microsoft's popular Surface Go and less popular Surface Laptop Go are on the chopping block. According to my sources that are familiar with Microsoft hardware roadmap, these devices are no longer being manufactured and no successors are currently planned. Just like the Surface Studio, Surface Laptop Studio, Surface Duo, Surface Hub, Surface Book, Surface Headphones, and Surface Earbuds before them, the Surface Go and the Surface Laptop Go are the latest Surface PCs to reach Microsoft's graveyard and completes the Surface portfolio culling that began in 2023. Let me tell you why this is important. This is important because they are going to be replacing that with Project Helix stuff. They don't want mixed messaging going forward. Project Helix will be a device that it will be manufactured and pushed by Xbox and by Microsoft. They won't have anything competing with it as far as Surface goes. But those spin-offs, those thoughts of those type of tablets, pads, laptops, all of that stuff will make an appearance, but with an Xbox logo. Because the hybrid aspect of what they're trying to bring to you, the console-friendly ecosystem in which they've put Xbox mode on your PC, with the versatility and the flexibility of PC, with the dexterity of gaming, well, it stands to reason that you did not need a competing line that didn't have an identity that made the sense that was necessary. Xbox as a brand is more powerful than Surface as a brand. So it stands to reason you are following that suit. Now, I highly expect you guys to go read this article. When you go over there, you can go check that out because he did good work. It's a 3-minute read. Go check it out. But we got bigger fish to fry. Now, when I say bigger fish to fry, a lot of you guys told me that this could be an end of an era when it comes to Game Pass. And I said, I don't believe that. I believe restructuring is going to happen. I believe the thought process in what Xbox needs to be as far as profitability goes is first and foremost, the bleeding will stop. You had language surrounding people talking about, oh, they're stopping the checks. They're no longer paying people. I know, and I have friends that are developers. I know the bags are different. I know the bags are performance-based. I know the bags has changed. Before, they were throwing money at them based upon what they were trying to do. That was before the ABK deal. That was before that level of money was spread, over to Xbox with an expectation of high yields. That was before ZeniMax. You see, that's also around the time that I was going to FanFest and I was getting 3-year, 2-year Game Pass scratch-offs. Shout out to my boy Cali Chris. Shout out to Bones and Bone Slave, and shout out to Raquenia. I was giving out. I had tons of them. All right, you want to talk about parasocial? I was the parasocial king. Now, this is brought to you by Comic Book and Tyler Frazier. It's the end of an era for Xbox Game Pass, according to the new reports. A new report about Xbox Game Pass warns it's the end of an era for the subscription, with substantially changes looming. It was once said that Xbox Game Pass was the greatest deal in gaming. It was probably true at one point, before it briefly became $30 a month and before the quality of day one games went dramatically downhill. Now, I'm going to stop that right there. I don't think the quality of day one games dropped, with Beast of Reincarnation actually about to drop in July, with Halo dropping inside Game Pass. I understand that I just got Forza Horizon 6, and that is a beast of a game. I just looked at my Game Pass subscriptions, and they dropped Vanguard, Call of Duty Vanguard, and a couple of other titles that I got a chance to play. If you looked at my list and what I play, I put it on Twitter, and I show you how to run it up on Xbox, run it up on Microsoft, how to use your Microsoft points, because I believe that if you're not using the tools that are set in front of you, you are a damn fool. So if they're giving you the ability to finance your fun by just spending your time, then do so. And if it's not taught to you, I'm here to help you learn. If anyone has any questions based upon that Xbox app and how they can best utilize the best aspects of Game Pass Ultimate and how you can get Game Pass Ultimate free every month, well, hey, you're talking to the king. Now, a lot of people is going to say that that's broke guy talk. Nothing about me screams broke. What it does say is that I'm smart with my money. And what that does mean is if this is a hobby, I treat it as such, and I go hard in the paint for my hobby. But there was a reason Xbox Game Pass was such a great deal, and it was because Microsoft was chasing rapid growth to obtain a massive install base, like I said. And it was completely unsustainable. That part is true. Handing out tons of money, hoping that somebody would stay, based upon a short window in which games will show up. Let's go! G. Bardis, let's get it. I salute you. That headbanging music is back. And that luchador is at the door. Thank you. I drink to you, sir. Xbox Game Pass has always turned a profit, but at the expense of other revenue streams for Xbox. It never came close to the internal subscriber count targets. They wanted 50 million to 100 million by the end of 2023. Wasn't possible. If COVID lasted a little bit longer, that would be a thing. But COVID did not last that long. To this end, it is not surprising to hear a big reshuffle in reportedly already beginning. Now, I believe so. The new report comes way of Exodus V, whatever the hell. You want to put all that stupid stuff in your name, God bless. A well-known Xbox insider with an inconsistent track record. Okay, how are you an insider if your record is inconsistent? But a source who has undeniable leaks in the past, and in particular Xbox Game Pass leaks, making this report all the more likely. Citing multiple independent developers at the recent first playable event, Xbox Insider has relayed word that Xbox boss Asha Sharma has completely frozen signing new third-party deals for Xbox Game Pass. If you're sitting there evaluating your studios, from the means to the extremes, from one spectrum to the next. Xbox Frontline brings you that news, what you want to hear when you coming through you. Love it. Kilo Papa Golf, member for 10 months. Soldier S rank. I salute you, Soldier. Hey, yo, what's good, son? It's been a minute. Salute. Blessings. Sounds like you from Queen. I salute you, sir. Let's go. So Asha says, I'm handling this business here. I'll get back to you. We got that deal on the table. We'll look at it to see if it works. The price of the brick gone up. The price of the brick gone up. The price of the brick gone up. So, relax. Understand, we still got money. We just gonna figure out how we're gonna make it happen. So all you individuals is talking doom and gloom and trying to be crazy. You said BK all day? I salute you, Soldier. On God and them. We close. I'm the Bronx. Well, I'm Westchester now. Westchester County. The boy different. I'm a little different. Reclaimer Rob. Y'all like to throw us in the club? Yo, I should have a strobe light. Bounce, bounce, bounce. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that in the other room. So, Reclaimer Rob, member for 1 month, Soldier S rank. I salute you, Soldier. Xbox Game Pass since day one and forever. Facts. You see that? It's a party up in here. They like how I feel, pause. They like how I feel, pause. That Xbox meal is good. That Xbox meal is good. PlayStation. PlayStation Plus. They should be more like Nintendo and sell it for $50 for the year, because that's what it's worth. Now, further is withdrawal offers that was already undergoing negotiation, leaving many independent teams scrambling. For those that do not know, at least the last few years, many smaller independent teams had relied on the cash upfront deals that come with subscription service like Xbox Game Pass, excuse me, or PlayStation Plus. Oh, Big Mad Mo, I salute you, soldier. Member for 31 months. Let's get to that. Soldier V rank. I salute you, soldier. Funny, this probably happens every financial year, but suddenly it's a big problem now with all the rumors running rampant. Hashtag Asha the Empress. Hashtags in Asha we trust. Facts. All of a sudden, when it comes to Xbox, we got issues. We got problems. When the parent company is $4 trillion. I don't think so. I don't think so. Shout out to E-Day. Shout out to Halo about to drop. Shout out to Forza Horizon 6. You mad, you mad, you mad, we good. You mad, you wish you could. You mad that Wolverine don't look as good as E-Day. How E-Day get bloodier than Wolverine? Huh? Oh! Let's get that!
At Hollywood Rules 2673 donated $2 through Super Chat. They hate us cause they ain't us. Salute General.
Facts though. They not like us. They're a different breed of animals. They're slugs. They're slugs, I tell you. All right, so, they're talking about the developers relied heavily on cash up front. If the metrics change, then it got to change. The definition of insanity is doing the same exact things expecting different results. You'll be a damn fool to think Asha was going to keep anything the same if those results that they received after years of doing it didn't produce the results that was necessary. Let's go. Let's get it. That alien is here. And Olivia, whoo, she's so sweet. Read that, baby.
At Hollywood Rules 2673 donated $2 through Super Chat. Gears E-Day is sponsoring WWE SummerSlam.
Facts. Now look at this. It sounds like he said Xbox can reorganize its strategy, indicating substantial changes. In fact, it sounds like a giant audit for Xbox Game Pass division. Anybody in the business understands that when there's a hiring freeze, when there's a purchasing freeze, there is something called audits, checking the books, go over everything with a fine-tooth comb. You got Matthew Ball there, you have Asha Sharma, you have Matt Booty, you have all these individuals that are being called to the carpet in order to go over Xbox financials, to find out where are the pain points, where are they bleeding money, what studios aren't worth the squeeze, what can they do in order to become solvent. You see, I don't know about you, but last time I checked that's a business. And last time I checked, I don't run it. Because had I ran it, y'all wouldn't like me. At all. At all. To the detriment of the company, I will make sure that PlayStation get absolutely nothing. I will keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. Hashtag no PlayStation 6. I will run it up on them bums. I would blacklist every game from going over there. That's from Call of Duty. That's from Elder Scrolls. That's from Minecraft. I will yank it all away from you. Then I will go out and make sure that I money had every damn thing. Everything moving in the streets. That you will only have to rely off of your games. And I will watch you die out a slow death. That's what I will do. I will spend the bank finishing you off. Pause. Like Matt Booty said, spend them out of business, right? But with language like that, with people telling you that, Xbox is they're getting out of money hatting and all this other stuff. Shout out to my man over at Pure Xbox and my man Frazier Gilbert, the KNN official reporter. Report Xbox originally planned to publish the new game from Assassin's Creed creator. It is expected to release on the Series X and S, though. This game looked good. Now, where's the sound on this? Hold on.
Today, we'll take a first look at the narrative world of...
Let's bring that back.
Hey, everyone. Jean-François Boivin here, co-founder and executive producer at Panache Digital Games. Today, we'll take a first look at the narrative world of 1666 Amsterdam, a third-person action-adventure game that we're currently developing. It all began with magic. In ancient times, the earliest human tribes would periodically gather in a sacred place.
I thought this game looked good.
One of these tribes, the Zandaris, was entrusted with an ancient form of magic along with the duty to pass it on to those deemed worthy to bear it. Those who carried this energy became known as the Originals.
That's crazy.
This gift came at a cost. The very magic meant to elevate humanity instead corrupted it. Those who received it were changed, and those who bestowed it had to learn how to take it back. Since then,
Kitty cat.
a cycle has repeated itself. A woman from the Zandaris tribe is...
Oh! Let's go! Appreciate you. Jimmy Mac 88, let's get it.
At Jimmy Mac 88 donated $5 through Super Chat. Xbox will be down to 30 studios and still be the largest publisher by employee count after this bloodbath. But Xbox's dead ponies will tell ya.
Facts, and they only got like 5 studios over there. Listen, I don't understand slug logic. Slugs are crazy, but I'm going to let the slugs do what the slugs do. We're going to continue to keep moving how we move.
chosen to restore balance, to hunt those who still carry this power, to reclaim it, to preserve the balance,
that look good,
no matter the cost. This is the world in which 1666 Amsterdam takes place.
I wonder if this is the
Step
early
into the role of Noah,
Call of Duty.
heir
I mean,
to a
not
long
Call of
line
Duty,
of
Assassin's
Zandaris,
Creed.
as she's about
developer.
to become the collector. She will not be alone.
This kitty cat
A choice
is wild.
must be made, one that will stand by her side throughout the journey.
Kitty cat love.
Together, they form the Union. Together, they must preserve the balance of the world.
Kitty cat is highly disrespectful on slash her eyeball like that. So, I say you may have come across a game called 1666 Amsterdam in the recent weeks, which has a new story-led action adventure titled by the folks over at Panshi Digital Games, known for developing popular Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey. Patrice I'm not even going to do that, was the founder of the studio, and he happens to be the creator of the Assassin's Creed. Oh, that's crazy. Serving as a creative director in the original 2 games. See, it made sense because it did look like that. He also assumed the role of 2003's Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. And it stands to reason that Xbox could have been interested in publishing 1666 Amsterdam. Then apparently it almost happened. A new report of GameFiles revealed Microsoft was in line to be the publisher at one point. Stefan Totillo, as reported, GameFiles 1666 Amsterdam is a new game. Was going to be funded by Xbox publisher before Microsoft cut funding. That means in recent years, Xbox is backing games from him, the Romero's, Kojima. Not every game pans out, but quite a set of partners. All right, cool. Understanding that this is one of the titles, and this is probably what really set off that whole language surrounding Xbox backing away from studios. Is another game that apparently that they backed away from. We got to talk about it in conjunction that people are reading the tea leaves. How many deals have you gone out to make, and if the deal isn't favorable to you in any form or fashion, or you don't see a return off of your initial investment, then you pull that funding. You're not committed to do anything until you absolutely see a way for you to make your money back. But let's get back to that. This is brought to you by Pure Xbox and my man Fraser Gilbert. Again, unofficial, official KNN reporter. Xbox issues statements after pulling out of Project Fantasy. We're not reducing our overall investment in games. A few years ago, we reported on a new project from 007 First Light and Hitman developer IO Entertainment called Project Fantasy, and it was rumored at the time that it might have been an Xbox exclusive. Flash forward to today, Xbox has now pulled out of the project, issued an accompanying statement. Speaking to Bloomberg, an Xbox spokesman had the following to say to this. Now, understand, when they're speaking to Bloomberg, they're speaking, and Jason Schreier is getting this. So if you're trying to figure out where all this pulling Xbox funding and all this other stuff goes, look no further than some of the bad actors, i.e. Jason Schreier. All right, we're taking a fresh look at where we invest, so we're focusing on our highest priorities. We're not reducing our overall investment in games. We expect our investment about the same in content as we did last year. What's changing is where we're investing and what kinds of projects we're backing. So as the industry changes, a lot of people expect Xbox to stay the same. They expect Xbox to be stupid, take their money and throw it against the wall and absolutely fail. If projects doesn't meet the criteria of deliverables, and especially they can see an avenue on return on investment, why must they be held to different standards? Where PlayStation cuts deals, don't mess with projects, Xbox is not afforded the same luxury. Xbox is held to an unrealistic standard, and this standard has to stop. Looking at all you industry fools trying to force Xbox into a weak position, knowing damn well being agile, cutting studios that aren't producing, getting rid of projects that aren't working, is in the benefit of Xbox and the brand. I know because I am part of the ecosystem. I game here. I game here a ton. If you saw by any of the titles that I played this month in Game Pass alone, outside of the titles that I did purchase, be it DLC, be it anything else, you realize that I game here. I love it here, and it is the best for me. Now, the biggest question that everybody has been asking me, what about Blade, though? This is brought to you by Pure Xbox and my man Fraser Gilbert, the unofficial, official KNN news reporter. And that's King News Network, if you didn't know. Marvel's Blade reportedly in danger as Xbox considers shuttering Arcane Studios. Sources tell me that Microsoft wants to cancel Blade. Now, I was on P. Lump's show earlier, and before I got off his show, P. Lump asked me or wanted my opinion on the Blade property. I think Microsoft, Xbox, thought that the Blade movie would have been out, would have been damn near finished in production, and that they could have had this game in line with that transmedia. With we seeing iterations of Blade and Marvel Rivals now, to another extent, Token fighting souls, we can see that the Blade IP is at an all-time high. Not talking about if Wesley Snipes is going to play it or Mahershala Ali is going to play the character or whatever Marvel is doing, but Marvel is holding up an IP that can actually sell. Now, what maybe Microsoft is looking at, or Xbox, is we will have a title out without an extended junket that can actually be a vehicle that could promote the game. You see, Blade is one of the lesser known Marvel characters, believe it or not. It's a daywalker that kills vampires. Very niche audience. The license fee may be a little high. Then you have to look at what the game costs to make. So we were looking at a AAA title. Should we not? It's Blade. It's Marvel. It's Disney. And it's Xbox. So we're looking at a title that's probably 100 to 200 million to make, depending on what the title is, where they're going with it. You would want a junket that actually connects to this in order to make that vehicle go. So if Arcane Studios is in a holding pattern, waiting on seeing what Disney and Marvel is doing, If Disney and Marvel don't know what they're doing with Blade, well, stands to reason getting this IP based upon you believing that you will have some backing when it comes to promoting this title. Could you imagine going to see the trailer for Blade in the movie theater by then spinning it off into the trailer for the game? Could you imagine the movie coming out and being successful and the game is alongside it? Continue your adventures of Blade inside the interactive experience over at the Xbox ecosystem. Well, if that stuff does not come to bear, then you want them to hold the bag. We haven't seen any gameplay. The title wasn't shown in the 2026 Game Pass, Xbox Showcase. Not that means any goddamn thing. With titles like State of Decay 3 and Senua on the chopping block after we've seen gameplay, well, we know that means absolutely nothing. But what we do have at the moment is rumors. Now, I told you the 30th that you will have all this information based upon Xbox, and then tomorrow the show would be a little bit different. But then looking forward, looking out until next week, around the 6th, we should start seeing the multiple layoffs, studio closures, spinning off, however you want to call it. I'm going to tell you again, as a consumer, the only things that concern you is, does my console work? Does my game work? And does my services work? This is stuff for us to talk about. Content creators, people that are hell-bent on bringing you news in order to get monetary gain. Don't think we do this for free. Now, one of us content creators on this YouTube is sitting here and they're millionaires. You would see how my content completely changes if I was a millionaire, because I would be doing in real life stuff, letting it run all day long. We will be game. I will pay for a cameraman over my shoulder, gaming all day, going all over the place, exploring the world, going into where gamers game and winners win. It'd be one type of giant Game Pass. But I want to thank each and every last one of you guys for showing up today. I want to thank you for coming here, giving me your time, because I appreciate it. I want you to hype up the video. I want you to like, follow, and share, and hit that notification bell, because I go live every day, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I was on P Lump's show earlier today. Go check that out. It's a hoot. This is my first time being on the show, and I truly love it. Every content creator is a huge content creator, pause, when it comes to me. I view them no different. I don't care about your sub count. That's not an issue. Because if you real, then you real, and real recognizes real. P Lump made his way to California. He made it to Summer Games Fest. He made it to Xbox Fan Fest. I got to give a shout out to P Lump, because P Lump is a handy-capable person. I want to know what's your excuse. If you got everything that works on you, how come you weren't there? Make it happen. If this is your hobby, be where your hobby is. Come, stand, and be next to your family. Because what? Gamers, we're family, right? Even you slugs, you blue slugs, y'all family. But I want you to go with game is game and win is win. And I want you to try to play the Game Pass. But before you do that, I told you I'm the unmitigated best at this. And if you got anybody better than me, then put them up.
What's a man or a king? What's it saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game, and what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox. Spin the block, his legs live. Fast talking, no wriggling. Moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much making a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? What's it saying?